Published 0412s, the 6th of November 2017. Updated 0914s, the 6th of November 2017. First Lady Melania Trump visited a Tokyo elementary on Monday afternoon, where she learned about Japanese calligraphy, and learned to write the word peace. Mrs. Trump visited Kaibashi Tsukiji Elementary School with Japan's First Lady, Aki Abe, the wife of Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. About 300 children welcomed them with a school song before Mrs. Trump posed for photos, shook hands and slapped high-fives with kids. U.S. First Lady Melania Trump poses with more than a dozen fourth graders at the Kaibashi Tsukiji Elementary School in Tokyo on Monday. Mrs. Trump visited the Tokyo school on Monday with Japan's First Lady, Aki Abe, the wife of Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. About 300 children welcomed them with a school song before Mrs. Trump posed for photos, shook hands and slapped high-fives with kids. Melania Trump and Aki Abe beamed as they spoke to the hundreds of school children in the elementary school's gymnasium. Melania Trump and Aki Abe held up peace signs as they posed with dozens of fourth graders at Kaibashi Tsukiji Elementary School in a calligraphy class. Mrs. Trump wrote the first kanji character for the Japanese word for peace, as Aki Abe wrote the second letter. Mrs. Trump is accompanying her husband, President Donald Trump, on her first Asian tour, which kicked off in Japan. On Sunday, the U.S. and Japanese First Ladies learned about the history of pearls at the historic jewelry shop, as part of her cultural program during the trip. At Mikimoto's flagship pearl shop, they went upstairs to a hidden floor of the building, reserved for VIPs, to talk over tea and coffee. No details of their discussions were released. Mikimoto brought in two ama divers who traditionally harvest pearls, clad in typical white costumes with big goggles and wooden buckets, to explain pearl farming to the U.S. First Lady. Melania Trump uses a brush to write Japanese word peace, helped by a schoolgirl while attending a calligraphy class of the fourth grader at Kaibashi Tsukiji Elementary School. In a calligraphy class, Mrs. Abe looks on as Mrs. Trump write the first character for the word peace in Japan's kanji. Mrs. Trump is accompanying her husband, President Donald Trump, on her first Asian tour, which kicked off in Japan. Melania Trump left, and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's wife Aki show off calligraphy they wrote as they attend a calligraphy class of the fourth grader at Kaibashi Tsukiji Elementary School. Fourth graders Kaibashi Tsukiji Elementary School posed for a photo during the calligraphy class after the First Ladies wrote the word peace. Melania Trump, third from left, and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's wife Aki, left, watch school children as they attend a calligraphy class. Japan is known for producing especially high-quality pearls. Wonderful visit. Mrs. Abe today enjoyed conversation over tea. The cultural presentation on the history of pearls, Melania tweeted after the meeting. The First Ladies then had a private dinner with their husbands at a Japanese steakhouse. Meanwhile, Presidents Trump and Abe spoke at a joint press conference about their efforts to combat the North Korean nuclear missile program on Monday. Abe announced plans to take additional sanctions measures against North Korea over its escalating missile and nuclear development. He said on Monday he will announce Tuesday a freezing of the assets of 35 North Korean groups and individuals as Japan's own sanctions measure. Before attending the school on Monday, the U.S. and Japanese First Ladies learned about the history of pearls at the historic jewelry shop, as part of her cultural program during the trip. Melania Trump and Aki Abe listened to teacher Yasunori Ichihara, left, as they attend a calligraphy class at the elementary school on Monday. While the First Ladies only attended the calligraphy class, they took time to meet with hundreds of children in the school's gymnasium. After leaving Japan, the Trumps will head to South Korea for one day. President Trump is expected to participate in a bilateral meeting with Korean President Moon Jae-in. After traveling to South Korea, the Trumps will visit China, Vietnam and the Philippines for a number of engagements before returning to Washington, D.C. Abe said that North Korea dominated their talks, and that they are completely on the same page on the issue. Abe reiterated that it's not time for dialogue but to maximize pressure on North Korea. Trump said that he expects Japan to purchase massive amounts of military equipment from the United States so the country will be able to shoot missiles from North Korea out of the sky. Abe said Japan shoots down missiles only when it's necessary. He said that the plan would mean more jobs in the United States and more security for Japan. Abe says Japan is already buying a lot of defense equipment from the U.S. and that it plans to upgrade due to the rising tensions with North Korea. Trump stressed a strong relationship with Japan. He said the United States is committed to improving our economic relationship and that he wants a free, fair and reciprocal trading relationship. The president kicked off his Asian tour in Japan Sunday. He held a working lunch and a bilateral meeting with Abe and paid a formal state call on Japan's Emperor Akihito and his wife, Empress Michiko, at the Imperial Palace. First Lady Melania Trump waves to children and staff as she leaves after visiting Kyobushi Tsukiji Elementary School in Tokyo. As Melania Trump left the school, children waved American and Japanese flags while a band performed music near an outdoor track. Much of Melania Trump's time in Tokyo has been spent with First Lady Abe. They're pictured together above before a lunch at the Akasaka Palace on Monday. President Trump's visit to Japan is the first stop of his 12-day tour of Asia. After Japan, Trump will visit South Korea, China, Vietnam and the Philippines.